Money isn't just paper or ink. It's not just numbers in a database. Money is concentrated belief, pure energy, divine essence made visible. The world sees it as currency, but I see it as focused conviction. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Money is God in action when spoken over correctly, and someone who blesses it with faith isn't worshipping material things, they're commanding it. There's a deep calm that comes when you hold cash. What you're touching isn't just physical matter, it's mind. And mind responds to the voice of the Spirit. Many are afraid to touch money because they've been taught it's tainted. But I tell you, it's the fear of money that keeps it away, not the love of it, but the fear of being powerful with it. When you hold cash, don't look at it with guilt or a sense of lack. Look at it with authority, because it came from God, and to God it returns. A woman once came to me with only $2. She was scared to spend it, thinking it was her last. But I told her, that's not your last. That's your seed. That's your symbol. Bless it, love it, multiply it with your words. Jesus didn't say, worry about the loaves and fishes. He said, bless them. And when he blessed them, they grew. So we took those $2 and I said, we bless the $2. We declare you have the magic purse of spirit. It can never run out. As money goes out, money immediately comes back, always overflowing with abundance, by grace, in perfect ways. She felt her purse heavy with money, and soon after, she received a gift of $6,000. It wasn't the paper that multiplied, it was the words spoken over it that unlocked the abundance. Money responds to conviction. So when you hold cash, you're not holding a transaction, you're holding a throne. And the question is, who sits on it? Is it lack, fear, hesitation, or the spirit of truth? Every dollar you touch is a servant waiting for instructions. You can ignore it, or you can bless it with divine words. The choice is always yours. But listen carefully. Until you can hold money without flinching, you'll never control it without limits. The outside reflects the inside. Your hand must be steady, and your heart must be clear. When I say this while holding cash, I don't mean superstition. I mean, step into spiritual creation. Take your words and write your agreement onto the money, and it won't return empty. Say with me now, this isn't my last, this is my first. This is the door, not a dead end. I bless this money. I multiply it with my words. It is God in physical form, and it obeys His voice in me. Speak it until your hand tingles with spiritual certainty. Speak it until your wallet feels alive. Speak it until fear disappears and faith ignites. You're not begging money to stay. You're summoning it to return, multiplied, pressed down, shaken together, and overflowing. That's the quiet power of physical money when held by a spiritually vocal soul. You've been misled if you think money is just paper. You've been deceived if you think its value comes from coins, cards, or digital numbers on a screen. The law of substance is this: money isn't material, it's spiritual. It's not a product of banks, it's a projection of belief. Scripture clearly states, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. So, substance isn't physical matter, it's spiritual certainty. It's invisible reality made real. So what is money if not substance shaped by faith? I tell you now, as I've said before, money is concentrated faith. It's the spiritual made practical. It's the invisible made real by conviction. It's a sacred symbol of circulation, God's divine way of showing how you allow Him to flow through your belief. Some see a dollar and see scarcity. Others see control. But the awakened soul sees movement, flow, response, a divine echo. The paper itself never has the power. It's the declaration that fills it. You can hold a blank check and feel rich in your awareness. You can clutch a stack of bills and be poorer than a beggar. Substance doesn't respond to appearance. It responds to your words, to who you identify as, to your spiritual energy. A woman once told me, I feel richer with $1 I've spoken over than I did with thousands in my account, because now I know what it obeys. And I told her, you've understood the law. Substance isn't what the world prints, it's what the soul commands. Money isn't static, it's spiritual circulation. It's divine payment in motion. And like blood, it flows where the heart is open. Like breath, it enters where fear has been cast out. And like rain, it responds to a seed. So don't look at paper and call it motionless. Don't curse the coin. The moment your tongue labels money as evil, dirty, or hard to get, You cut off your own supply line. You declare against your own authority. Instead, say, "This money is spirit made real. It is love circulating. It is faith rewarded." Hold the bill and say, "You are not mine. You are God's servant, obeying my command." This isn't poetry. This is power. Until you understand money's nature as substance, not just a symbol, you'll remain bound by the illusion of shortage. But shortage isn't truth. Scarcity isn't law. The true law is multiplication. The true law is expansion. The true law is, as you believe, as you speak, so shall it be done for you. Now listen closely. If money is concentrated faith, then the stronger your faith, the greater your flow. Don't ask for more dollars. Ask for more authority. Don't beg for more income. Declare your unity with the source of all supply. Your words shape substance. Your faith directs its form. And when you finally speak in alignment with truth, you'll find your wallet isn't just a container. It's a current. It moves when you speak. It listens when you bless. And it multiplies when you treat it as sacred. Let's expose a hidden fear, one so common, so disguised it hides even beneath the most spiritual intentions. The fear of holding money. Not the fear of not having it, but the fear of having it too long. The fear of keeping it. The fear of being seen with it. The fear of becoming visibly wealthy. Most people weren't raised to receive. They were raised to let go, and to let go too quickly. From childhood, we were told, don't show it off. Don't hold on to it. Easy come, easy go. We were taught that money slips away, money burns, money spoils, that money changes people, ruins families, attracts judgment. And so, even when it comes, there's a secret tremor in the hand. The fingers clench tightly, not with authority, but with anxiety. Not because they're greedy, but because they feel guilty. They've been trained not to possess, not to enjoy, not to keep, only to need and to beg and to apologize for wanting. And so money becomes a visitor, not a resident, a guest, not a foundation. It comes in and is quickly shown the door because no one ever taught you to let it stay. But hear me now. You weren't created for just enough. You weren't made for temporary supply. You were designed for overflow. You were designed to hold abundance with dignity and to keep wealth with honor. The emotional tension many feel around holding money isn't based on truth. It's rooted in old family pain, cultural guilt, and generational programming. Somewhere deep in your soul is a child who learned, if I have too much, I'll lose love. Or, if I look rich, they'll think I'm bad. Or, if I prosper, I'll be alone. So, what do? They spend it before it multiplies. They hide it before it can bless. They reject it before it can take root. They fear what's good because they were never taught how to hold it without punishment. But I'm here to tell you that God doesn't punish possession. He punishes misuse. And the soul that blesses money with clean hands and pure words will not suffer for it, but will grow because of it. It's not dangerous to hold money. It's dangerous to fear it. What you fear, you push away, and what you bless, you receive. So take the cash in your hand and speak the opposite. I wasn't made to release too soon. I was made to receive long enough. Say it again with your whole voice. Say it until your nervous system calms down. Say it until your fingers stop twitching. Say it until your soul stops apologizing for overflow. Money isn't the enemy. Your guilt is. And when you give it up, when you reject the lie, when you bless what you once feared, money will stop running away and will start multiplying. When you hold cash, you're not holding a physical object. You're holding a divine extension, a tangible symbol of circulation, a spiritual echo of what you've spoken, believed, and allowed. The money in your palm has no power on its own, but it responds with absolute obedience to the tone of your voice. If you bless it, it multiplies. If you curse it, it runs away. If you ignore it, it shrinks. But if you honor it as divine substance, it will become your servant, your supply, and your sign. Now listen well. There's no multiplication without instruction, and your tongue is the tool. You don't wait for money to bless you. You bless it first. You speak to it before it moves. You declare over it before it's spent. Your voice trains your currency. Your voice instructs your wallet. And your voice, when aligned with spiritual truth, awakens the law of increase. So take the cash in your hand and say this with full spiritual authority. You are blessed. You are multiplied. You are attracted. You are divine circulation. And I release you only with praise. This isn't just a feel-good phrase. It's a command of the Spirit. You're not speaking to paper. You're speaking to the spiritual pattern behind the paper, the blueprint, the unseen root that determines its fruit. Don't say it once and expect complete control. Repetition matters. Rhythm matters. Your tongue must be trained like a muscle. You don't lift weights once and expect strength. You don't speak once and expect overflow. You speak daily. You speak faithfully. You speak as a manager, not a beggar, and your words begin to instruct reality. Your words build patterns, and your patterns attract wealth. Bless a $10 bill with the same tone you would bless a million. The law doesn't respond to amounts. It responds to the atmosphere. It responds to the tone of your authority. Speak to your cash as if it were an honored guest, a divine task, a spiritual ally. Say, I don't just spend, I send. I don't just buy, I bless. And you'll find that money begins to flow toward the voice that treats it as sacred, not scarce. What you hold, you shape, and what you bless, you multiply. So speak and speak often. Speak until the dollars obey. Speak until fear bows. Speak until the cash in your palm glows with the spiritual memory of the law it just heard. You've been taught by the world that money multiplies through hard work, strategy, and saving. But I tell you now, money multiplies through words, through respectful instruction, through the spiritual law of multiplication, which existed before all human economics and bypasses all worldly logic. This law isn't new, it's eternal, it's divine. It's the same law Jesus used when he took 5 loaves and 2 fish, looked to heaven, gave thanks, and spoke the blessing. Then and only then did it multiply. He didn't ask, he didn't analyze, he declared. He spoke over the substance until it expanded. And that is the model, the divine template, the spiritual method. You speak before the overflow, not after. You bless the little and watch it grow. You look at what the world calls not enough, and you speak to it as if it were already multiplied. Let me teach you the core truth of this law. Your words are containers. They are vessels for increase. And just as a cup holds water, your words hold the pattern for provision. When you speak over money with faith, you create a mold for more. You build a landing place for overflow. You command heaven to pour itself into physical form. Say aloud with me now, my words are vessels, and they return filled. Again, my words are vessels, and they return filled. You must understand this. You're not begging God to send more. You're building the container with your mouth, and whatever you speak with conviction becomes the structure through which your supply flows. If you say there's never enough, you build a tiny bowl. If you say, I can't hold on to money, you build a sieve. But if you say, I walk in divine circulation, I release with joy and receive with ease, then you build a well without a bottom, a vessel that cannot be emptied. Your physical reality responds to sound. Your wallet listens to prophecy. Your cash is waiting for its purpose. And when you speak over it, not from fear, but from faith, it obeys the vibration and multiplies according to the pattern you declare. So don't wait. Don't hold back your words. Speak over every bill, every coin, every bank notification. Say, you're not just money, you're blessed substance, you're spoken increase. You're meant to return multiplied. This is the language of the multiplier. This is the mouth of dominion. And this is the law of multiplication fulfilled by the one who speaks with authority. Now I give you the ritual, not as superstition but as spiritual alignment, not as tradition but as activation. When you speak over cash, you're not doing a trick. You're entering into an agreement with physical reality. You're reminding the invisible that you are a vessel of increase. And like the prophet who stretched over the child to bring him back to life, you're stretching your words over what the world called dead and commanding it to rise. Let's begin. Step 1. Clean the space. Quiet your mind. Don't rush this. Make the place where you speak sacred. Light a candle. Clear any mess. Let the air be still. Turn off the noise of the world and tune yourself to the frequency of heaven. You can't multiply in noise. You must enter the sanctuary of command. Breathe deeply. Let your nervous system relax. Say in your spirit, this is sacred ground. Step 2. Hold the cash in your left hand. The left hand is the receiving hand, the hand of memory, the hand of the soul. As you hold the bill, whether it's a $1 bill or a $100 bill, recognize it as spiritual substance, not paper, not government, not a decimal. Substance, the concentration of faith, the echo of circulation, the answer to a previous word now made real. Honor it. Step 3. Place your right hand over your heart. Your right hand is your giving hand, your commanding hand, and your heart is the altar. Let them meet. You're combining authority with sincerity, command with love, declaration with purity. Feel your own heartbeat as you prepare to speak. You're not just saying words. You're announcing to the universe that multiplication has begun. Step 4. Speak the declaration 7 times. 7 is the number of completion, the number of divine fullness. Don't mumble, don't guess. Speak with clarity and rhythm. You are blessed, multiplied, and attracted. You are divine supply in motion. Say it 7 times slowly. Let the words sink in. Let the rhythm cleanse you. Each repetition is a layer of command, a pouring of oil, a setting of the tone. Speak it until your voice no longer trembles, until your very being remembers who you are. You can say it aloud or under your breath, but you must say it with certainty. Not asking, not wishing, but declaring. Step 5. Close with this phrase, Amen, and multiply. Let this be the seal, the exhale, the release. Amen means so, be it. Multiply is your assignment. You're not begging for more. You're commanding circulation. You're not proving your worth. You're fulfilling the law. As you say it, release the cash into your wallet, your altar, your pocket, wherever it's meant to go next. But don't release it without blessing. Don't put it away like the world does. Put it away like the Spirit does, with recognition of its divine nature and expectation of its return. This ritual isn't a performance. It's a practice of presence. The money in your hand isn't waiting for struggle. It's waiting for holiness. When your words touch it, it's not just spent. It's sent. Sent on assignment. Sent to circulate. Sent to echo the voice that blessed it. So do it with respect. Do it often. Do it every time you receive, give, or pause. The hands that touch money without guilt, and the mouth that speaks blessing without fear. These are the hands and mouth through which multiplication flows. She stood in her kitchen with tears in her eyes and a $10 bill in her hand. It was all she had left. Rent was due. Groceries were low. Her hands trembled, not because of the amount, but because of the old voice rising inside her. This isn't enough. This will disappear. You're always behind. But that night, she remembered a phrase, a teaching, a law. She remembered the divine principle I now remind you of. Money isn't yours to hoard or fear. It's substance in motion, and it obeys the voice of faith. She cleared the table, lit a candle, held the bill in her left hand, her right over her heart, and she spoke not to paper but to principle. 7 times she declared, you are blessed, multiplied, and attracted. You are divine supply in motion. And after the 7th time, she looked at the bill, not with fear, but with respect, and she said something she had never said before. You are no longer mine. You are spiritual substance. You are sent. You are made holy. She placed it in her wallet, kissed it as a mother kisses a child before letting them go, and released it. She didn't obsess. She didn't check her bank app constantly. She watched her words. For 3 days, she guarded her inner thoughts. She refused to say lack, refused to speak worry. Every time fear rose, she repeated the phrase, you are divine supply in motion. On the 4th morning, an email arrived. A company she hadn't thought about in months had issued a refund, overpayment, they said, from a billing error. The amount, $210. She smiled, not because of the number, but because of the principle. Because heaven had heard the vibration and returned it with interest, not through effort, through law. She later wrote in her journal, that bill was no longer just mine. It had become the word made real. It had become circulation. It had become a prophecy. And so it is for you. The cash in your hand, when spoken over with truth, becomes something completely different. It becomes a seed of supply, a multiplied sound, a divine servant returning full. When you bless money, you're not just speaking to your wallet. You're cleansing the energetic river that flows between you and everything that's yours by divine right. Most people treat money as if it's something they must chase, cling to, or fear. But I tell you, money isn't something to control. It's something to make sacred. And the moment you bless it, you begin to break the silent curse that has followed you for generations. Blessed money becomes bold money. It no longer hides in corners of shame. It no longer slips through your fingers like a guilty secret. It stands tall, multiplies openly, and knows exactly where to go, because it has been spoken over by one who understands that money is a servant of spirit, not a master of people. And when you speak blessings, something else happens. You release guilt, you release the story that says, I don't deserve this, or, it's wrong to have more. That lie begins to tremble when your mouth speaks truth. Guilt is a blockage in the pipe. Shame is a stopper in the flow. But blessing opens the valve. Blessing invites the flood. Blessing says, this money is holy. This money is clean. This money is mine to move as Spirit directs. To bless your money is to make your relationship with supply sacred. No longer chained by past hurts, no longer hidden in fear, no longer whispered about in hushed tones. You become a channel, a conduit. You don't hoard, you circulate. You don't fear, you flow. Because you have blessed what the world taught you to curse. Don't forget this. What you bless cannot betray you. What you make sacred cannot shrink. The voice that blesses money also commands it, and the hand that blesses what it holds becomes the hand that receives again and again, pressed down, shaken together, and overflowing. There are phrases that have rhythm, and then there are phrases that have power. Some words float across the mind and vanish. But there are others, charged, divine, magnetic, that cut through appearances and build new realities. These aren't just affirmations for the timid. These are declarations of spiritual authority. And if you speak them not as begging, but as being, then I tell you, money must obey. Here's the first. Every dollar I touch returns to me multiplied. This isn't just hopeful. It's not a metaphor. It's law. You're no longer releasing money into nothing. You're sending it on assignment. Just as rain returns from the heavens to water the earth, so shall every dollar return, not empty, but expanded. You're not losing it. You're lending it to the law. You're sending it out to gather more of its kind. Speak this as a command, and let heaven track its return. Second, I don't chase. I attract. The beggar chases, the aligned person attracts, and you, child of divine supply, were never meant to pursue with panic. You are the magnet. You are the frequency. And when you walk in rhythm with spiritual law, money finds you through your identity, not through effort. Say this aloud until your breath believes it, until your very being remembers it, until your wallet begins to respond. And third, what I bless, blesses me back. Every time you bless a bill, you authorize its return. Every time you speak love over your supply, you summon its increase. The world told you that money is neutral. I tell you now, it's not. It's responsive. It reflects the tone of its master. So speak to it as sacred, call it by name, assign it by law, and watch it return, covered in favor, overflowing with multiplication. These three phrases aren't to be tested, they are to be trusted. They aren't to be said once, they are to be lived. Speak them with authority. Walk with them in quiet confidence. And every time you hold money, remember, you're not holding paper, you're holding proof of the word in motion. Stand before your mirror, not as one desperate, but as one destined. In your left hand, hold the symbol of substance, a bill, a note, a dollar that carries the history of circulation. In your right hand, hold your heart, feel it beat. Know that you weren't born into lack, but into law, not into begging, but into becoming. The mirror before you isn't just a surface, it's a signal, a gateway, a place where physical form meets faith and appearance must yield to authority. And the money in your hand, it's not yours to fear, it's yours to speak over. Look into your own eyes and say these words. This reflection is wealth returning to me in every form. Say it again, not as a routine, but as a rebirth. You're not speaking into glass. You're speaking into God. Every reflection carries the echo of the one who created you. And when you see your face next to divine supply, you're reminded that the one who touches this money isn't random, isn't rejected, but chosen. Speak directly to your own face. You are the image of abundance. You are the voice of increase. You are the expression of spiritual circulation. Then lower your gaze and speak to the cash. You are blessed. You are bold. You are assigned. You return, multiplied. Lift your eyes again and complete the connection. I see favor. I speak favor. I attract favor. This isn't just a performance, it's programming. It's not superstition. It's spiritual saturation. And when done with rhythm, respect, and faith, the cash mirror activation rewrites both your reflection and your reception. No more speaking lack into the air. No more hiding your eyes from the truth. From this moment, your voice leads. Your image agrees. your finances follow. Every time you speak the word of supply, doubt will try to talk back. Doubt is a thief of rhythm. It enters not with a roar, but with a whisper. What if it doesn't work? That voice, familiar, logical, even protective, doesn't come from divine wisdom. It's the echo of appearances, the leftover from past failures, the lingering illusion that what's visible has more power than what's spoken. But I tell you, when doubt appears, it's not time to think, it's time to replace it. Your mind may question, but your mouth must command. The law of replacement is your weapon. It's the divine override. You don't entertain the fear. You replace it. You don't negotiate with lack. You speak truth in its place. And here's the phrase to plant in the soil of every fearful thought. This word never returns empty. Say it slowly. Say it loudly. Say it as if your entire lineage is listening, because it is. This sentence isn't comfort. It's a contract. It's taken straight from Scripture. So shall my word be that goes forth from my mouth. It shall not return to me empty, but it shall accomplish what I please. Isaiah 5:5-11. When you speak with this law in your bones, the fear must disappear. The question must fall away. The appearance must shift. Fear says, what if this is silly? You say, this word never returns empty. Fear says, but I've spoken before, and nothing happened. You say, this word never returns empty. Fear says, you don't deserve abundance. You say, this word never returns empty. You see, the law isn't emotional. It's precise. It doesn't reward tears. It responds to truth. So when doubt appears, replace it immediately. Don't linger. Don't explain. Don't fight with shadows. Replace them, and soon you'll find that the very thought that once triggered fear now triggers faith. You can't afford to speak carelessly anymore. The age of idle words is over. Your mouth isn't a toy, it's a throne. Every sentence you speak either multiplies or subtracts. There's no neutral language in the kingdom of spiritual law. When you speak lack, even jokingly, you authorize delays. When you say, I'm broke, I can't afford it, money doesn't grow on trees. You're not just expressing frustration. You're planting a field of famine, and the harvest will obey your mouth. But when you speak only multiplication, supply, and release, you align your words with divine circulation. You turn your tongue from a weapon of worry into a tool of wealth. You build momentum with your mouth. Here's your training. Don't describe lack. Don't echo fear. Don't repeat phrases that curse your own supply. Instead, train your mouth to predict provision. I am a walking container of divine increase. Money flows through me and back to me, blessed and multiplied. Every dollar I touch expands. I bless my bills. I speak to my wallet. I declare overflow. When your mouth is disciplined, your life becomes purposeful. This isn't about forcing belief. This is about forming a habit of truth. The more you speak multiplication, the more you see it. The more you see it, the more you bless it. The more you bless it, the more it returns, pressed down, shaken together, and overflowing. Watch your words, beloved. Every joke, every aside, every casual curse you place upon your own money is a reversal. But every declaration of faith is a seed. And the law doesn't mock you. It fulfills what you speak. Your words are gates, and some gates must never be opened again. There are phrases that may seem harmless, even relatable, but they are poison, disguised as familiarity. These are the phrases that block supply, delay good things, and invite stagnation, and they must be removed from your vocabulary forever. The first, I can't afford that. This isn't humility. This is limitation dressed up as logic. When you speak these words, you announce to divine substance, there's no way. But the moment you say it, you close the door to unexpected channels. Instead, speak the law. If it's mine by divine right, it appears at the perfect time. The second, money goes too fast. This is the language of a leaky mindset. You're declaring instability, insecurity, and fear of loss. And what you fear, you attract. Replace it with, money flows to me richly and remains under divine guidance. And the most dangerous of all, I'm broke. To declare this isn't to describe a condition, it's to accept an identity. Broke isn't your name. Lack isn't your inheritance. Never again attach I am to anything you don't wish to become. Instead, declare, I am a vessel of supply. I am divinely funded at all times. These phrases aren't just bad habits. They are verbal agreements with insufficiency. And the law cannot bring abundance to a mind stuck in contradiction. You cannot serve both truth and old beliefs. Cancel every phrase that reflects lack. Replace it with rhythm, law, and divine certainty. Train your tongue, and the world will respond. Money doesn't just follow work, it follows words. He was down to his last few bills. Rent was due in 4 days. The urge to panic, to plead, to fall into old negative thought patterns clawed at his mind. He had been here before: the fear, the shame, the bargaining with heaven. But this time, he did something different. He took the cash in his hand, closed the door, and said aloud, "This isn't just rent, this is seed." He had read the principle that spoken words bless physical things, that your words aren't just comments, they cause things to happen. So he didn't criticize the $20, he made it sacred. He laid the bill out on his desk, smooth and flat, like a seed ready for planting. He placed both hands over it, not to hold, but to speak, and with a steady voice, he declared, "You are blessed, you are multiplied, you are attracted, you are not my last, you are my connection." He repeated it 7 times, slowly, rhythmically, with respect, not desperation. That night, he slept, not in fear, but in faith. The next morning, an old client sent a message, "I've been thinking about your business. Can I send a few clients your way?" By the end of the week, his calendar was full, his phone was ringing, and his fear had vanished like mist under the morning sun. But it wasn't just business. His posture changed. He stopped apologizing for his needs. He stopped over-explaining his worth. His relationships improved. His confidence grew. Because the moment he blessed that $20, he wasn't waiting to be rich. He was already rich in his command. The amount didn't matter. The word did. The $20 was never meant to stay. It was meant to obey, and it did. Bless your money, not because you're broke, but because it belongs to God. Speak not from scarcity, but from spiritual authority. And remember, every dollar listens, every dollar learns, every dollar returns. Now I invite you, beloved, not just to hear this truth, but to live it. If these words have resonated with you, if they stirred something sacred in your chest, then let your first act of alignment be this. Speak it into the comments below. I bless what I hold. I multiply what I speak. Write it not as a simple message, but as a decree. Let the written word reflect your spoken word. Let heaven and algorithms alike agree with your declaration. You're not just following a channel, you're committing to a life of spoken power. Each time you return here, you return to yourself. You return to your source. You return to the rhythm of multiplication that has been yours since the beginning of time. So return daily. Speak boldly. Hold your money with respect. And remember, your mouth is the blueprint for your miracles.